It was supposed to be the happiest day of his life. A young man from humble beginnings. An Oxford graduate who defied the odds. And days before his wedding to one of England's wealthiest heiresses, Austin FARD vanished into thin air. What began as a love story soon spiraled into obsession, envy, and a criminal conspiracy that would shock even seasoned investigators. This is the chilling case of the disappearance of Austin FARD. Austin FARD wasn't born into privilege. He grew up in a quiet village in rural England, the son of hardworking farmers who barely made ends meet. But Austin's sharp mind opened doors that his family could never have imagined. With a full scholarship to Oxford University, he excelled, graduating with honors. Even in prestigious academic circles, Austin was admired not just for his intellect, but for his kindness and humility. It was at a charity gala that Austin's life changed forever. There, he met Claire Wellingham, the only daughter of billionaire industrialist Lord Sebastian Wellingham. Claire was beautiful, refined, and incredibly kind, but always cautious of those who pursued her wealth rather than her heart. With Austin, she found sincerity. The two quickly bonded. Their romance blossomed. And soon, their engagement was announced. It was the story that the media adored, the poor but brilliant young man who captured the heart of England's most eligible heiress. But behind the fairy tale, a storm was brewing. Among the many powerful suitors who once sought Claire's hand, one man stood apart, Reginald Blackthorn. Heir to a multi-billion-dollar oil fortune, Reginald had long assumed that Claire would one day be his. The Wellinghams and Blackthorns shared deep financial ties that stretched back decades. A marriage between the two families would solidify dynasties. Reginald's ego was wounded beyond repair when Claire chose Austin over him. Humiliation, however, soon turned to rage. And rage turned to obsession. In Reginald's mind, Austin FARD had stolen what was rightfully his. And if power and wealth couldn't win Claire, then something darker would. Just days before the wedding, Austin shared his excitement on social media, posting a photo of the elegant wedding invitation. Friends and well-wishers flooded him with messages of joy. But among the digital cheers, someone else was watching in silence. Reginald summoned his trusted enforcer, Victor. A man who specialized in making people disappear. The plan was simple: abduct Austin quietly, hold him until after the wedding date, and leave no trace. If necessary, they were prepared to go even further. On a cold evening, Austin stepped out for his usual countryside walk. The rain misted the air, and the wind whispered through the trees. He never saw them coming. Masked men emerged from the shadows. A needle pierced his neck, a fast-acting sedative. Within seconds, Austin collapsed to the ground. When he awoke, he found himself in a cold, windowless basement. His wrists and ankles bound tightly. A dull ache throbbed through his ribs and face. He had been beaten. A single flickering light bulb barely illuminated the damp concrete walls. And then, the door opened. It was Reginald Blackthorn. Reginald approached slowly, savoring the moment. "Did you really think you could take what's mine?" he sneered. Despite his battered state, Austin remained defiant. "Claire chose me. You'll never have her love."
Reginald's face twisted. "She'll grieve for you, for a time. But I'll be there to comfort her. And in time, she'll see I was always the better man." Austin was trapped, injured, and helpless, but his will remained unbroken. Back at Wellingham Manor, Claire was spiraling into panic. Austin was missing. His car untouched. His phone silent. Police searched frantically, but no ransom demands came. No sightings. No leads. The media erupted with speculation. Had Austin run away? Was foul play involved? Or had the pressure of marrying into wealth driven him to vanish? Claire knew none of these rumors were true. Someone had taken him. But who? Miles away, an unlikely hero was about to step forward. Ethan Cole was a security guard employed by one of Reginald's private properties. Years ago, as a homeless teenager, he had nearly been killed by a group of thugs in London. It was Austin, still a student, who had risked his own safety to intervene and save him. That one act of kindness had changed Ethan's life forever. Now, fate was calling him to return that favor. While doing his rounds, Ethan overheard two guards whispering about the Oxford boy being held downstairs. He knew instantly who they meant. Ethan began gathering evidence, recording conversations, capturing photographs, mapping the property's layouts. He reached out to an old friend, Detective Inspector Marlowe, and presented him with the mounting evidence. But with the wedding date fast approaching, they couldn't risk waiting for a full operation. If they were going to save Austin, they needed to move fast. Under the cover of night, Ethan slipped into Reginald's estate. Years of security training paid off as he dodged guards, cameras, and patrol dogs. Finally, he reached the basement cell. Austin was barely conscious, bruised, dehydrated, and bleeding. "Ethan?" Austin whispered through cracked lips. "It's me. We're getting you out." The escape was perilous. Austin could barely walk. Ethan half-carried him through the underground maintenance tunnels. But before they could exit, the alarm blared. Victor and his men swarmed into the tunnels. Gunfire erupted. Ethan shielded Austin, narrowly dodging bullets as they sprinted through the narrow passageways. After a harrowing chase, they burst out into the forest. Moments later, flashing blue lights. The police had arrived. By dawn, the estate was surrounded. Reginald Blackthorn, still arrogantly sipping scotch in his study, was arrested without resistance. But as investigators dug deeper, they uncovered a chilling pattern. Reginald had orchestrated similar disappearances before, targeting business rivals who threatened the Blackthorn empire. 2 cold cases involving missing CEOs were now linked directly to him. In court, the evidence was overwhelming: recorded conversations, photographic proof, witness testimonies, including Ethan's heroic account. The jury returned swiftly with their verdict. Reginald Blackthorn was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. His empire collapsed. His name forever tainted. Austin's recovery was slow. Multiple fractured ribs, permanent nerve damage, and psychological trauma from his captivity. But one thing remained unshaken: Claire's love. Months later, under a spring sky, they finally exchanged vows in an intimate ceremony surrounded by close friends and family. No reporters. No paparazzi. No shadows. Among the guests stood Ethan, quietly watching, his debt fully repaid. Austin and Claire's wedding was no longer just a celebration of love, it was a victory over greed, obsession, and evil. The case of Austin FARD serves as a chilling reminder that behind even the most beautiful stories, dangerous obsessions can brew. But it also reminds us that sometimes, a single act of kindness can return to save your life. This has been True Crime and Mystery Files. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more real-life mysteries.